Hello, everybody. Good to see you. So I see, let's see, Maurice is here on YouTube already. And then we're live on Facebook as well. Okay. So, Maurice, I can go to you first since you are first on. And then we will just kind of go back and forth tonight through people that are on Facebook and people that are on YouTube. So we'll do a little bit of both. And Maurice, this is a business reading, so you're good with it being a business? Just confirm that for me if you could. And then I'll dive into your reading, Maurice. I want to make sure you're still there as well. Looks like you are, though. Okay. Share. I'm just sharing out a couple places on Facebook. Maurice, are you still there? I just wanted to make sure that you knew it was a business reading before I dived in. And so anyone that's just now joining, you could put either reading or coaching in tonight. I'm just going to adjust this a bit. I have not done coaching on these calls or these lives, I guess I should say, in the past 10 months that I've been doing them every week, but it's time to bring it in, time to start something new. Maurice, I see that you're there, but I feel like maybe you've walked away from your computer. So you let me know when you're back, Maurice, and then we'll move forward. Let me type to you so you can see this. Okay. So yeah, we'll go with you when you're back, but that's one of the things that I make sure is that whoever I'm doing the reading for, that they're actually there to interact with me rather than catching the replay, because it's kind of tough otherwise just for me to get confirmation. I want to feel like you're there and you're watching. Okay. So hi Kai. Hi Tati. Okay, so if you could put in, so I see Kai wants a reading on Facebook. Thanks, Tati. Are you, Tati, on YouTube looking for to do the coaching or the reading? And just to give you guys a sense, since I haven't offered to do the coaching on these calls before, and some of you guys might be new to me, the reading would just be as usual. The coaching, I would need to actually be having a conversation with you guys. So that would mean that I would need you to call me. So preferably you'd be in the US as well, but I would put you on speaker so that other people can hear, or for the people on Facebook, there is an option as well, if you don't mind your face being seen, that I could actually bring you into the live and we could have that short conversation. But I am going to start moving these to being a blend of coaching and readings, since I think a lot of people have the sense, since I've only done readings, that I'm like only a reader, but like 90% of what I do, way more than that, probably 98% of what I do is the coaching. So I want to make sure I'm giving that some love as well, since that's one of the big gifts that I'm here to share with you guys. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with Kai first on Facebook, and then I'm going to jump over to Tati. Am I saying that correctly as well? Tell me if I'm not. Who's on YouTube. And then we'll bounce back and forth. Thank you, Maurice. I'll make sure I get you in the mix too, since I know you're back. Okay, Kai. Let's see. Okay. So Kai on Facebook, and then we'll jump over to Tati on YouTube. Okay. let me just connect in and tune in with you, Kai. Okay. So Kai, I think the message that's going to come across for you tonight is going to be around business, and then especially the categories of like money, abundance, like attracting of clientele. And my initial sense before I go to the card is that there's different paths that you can take. It feels like they're very different, and that it feels kind of like a choice point, like you're at this place where you need to decide where you want to put your resources, your time, money, efforts into what you're going to be doing next. So Two of Earth is what's coming forward. It's talking about too much going on at once, the need to make a decision and consider a more playful approach. So I feel like the card actually ties in, now that I look at the card, with exactly what I was saying before, that there's the efforts seem to be spread a little bit thin right now. And so I want you to hone in on that just a bit, because it does feel like both energetically as well as the thing that you're going to be seeing return on in terms of the actions that you are taking, that this seems to be the better bet for you right now. Is this making sense for you, Kai? Would this line up with something that you've been thinking about? Hi, Neil. Hi, Joni. Hi, Mohit. All right, Kai. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear. I know sometimes I feel like there's a little bit of a delay, like when I've been on other people's lives, that sometimes I could tell that it takes a moment for them to see what I typed to them. So I realize that, but that does make sense. Okay. So what I want you to do is, I feel like there's a few different things. I don't know that there's like, I think my sense from you, and as also what I know from you, just from you being on these readings a lot, is that this isn't necessarily like proven territory where you necessarily like have like, oh, well, this is what's worked for me best in the past. I'm going to make my decision based on, past things that have worked. So just based on what this card's saying is consider a more playful approach, I'm going to be wanting to point you towards the one that you feel more excitement towards, because I think that you're going to be willing to kind of put yourself into it and really stay the course long enough to see the results if you do that. So we'll leave it at that, but thanks for joining, Kai. Okay, so I'm going to go to Tati here on YouTube, and then I'm going to be jumping around. Hi, Jillian. So I'm not going to be the one that would get good relationship info. My specialty is always in the area of business and purpose. I'd say money ends up getting tied up into that, and a lot of times career as well, since it all kind of segues. So I wouldn't be doing relationship questions today. Okay, so I'm going to go to Tati. I'm coming to you next for a reading. And then I want to go to somebody on Facebook next. Looking for who requested a reading. Okay. How about Neil? I'll go to Neil after Tati on YouTube. Neil, I feel like I've done a reading for you, but it was like many months ago, if I'm thinking of the right person. You've been on before, right, Neil? Like months ago? Okay. All right. So Tati, I'll do a reading. And I really want somebody that is willing to step up and be brave and do some coaching tonight, because I want to get some coaching in the mix. it's important for me, I feel like, as well, to continue doing these readings since it's coming up on a year anniversary that I've been doing these every year. It's like, I think for it to make sense for me, that I really need to start incorporating in some of the coaching as well to keep doing these. And so I want you guys to get in on that too. Whoever's like feeling brave and open to that experience. Okay, so Tati on YouTube. We'll get tuned into you. Okay. Okay. So Tati, the first thing that's coming in with you is it feels like, I feel it in the heart, like first off, and there's some emotions that come in with it. And so I feel like it's the heart and the throat chakra specifically. And what it feels like is that there's this kind of teeter-totter between some of the things that you've been experiencing and what you've been feeling in terms of your business. Like it feels like there's sort of this back and forth energy. Does that make sense? I also get the sense that no one would typically guess with you that you had some of these moments of these more kind of challenging emotions and questions of like, is this going to work? Like, is this the right time? Can I do it? Because I do feel like for the most part, I feel like you're confident in the things that you say, that they don't always line up, that people don't always guess that you're actually really feeling that way. So I do, but I feel like it's sort of a back and forth. Like sometimes you're good, you're confident, you're clear, you're doing it. And then you have these other moments where it's just like, what the fuck am I even doing right now? Like, and so I'm curious to hear if that's been happening for you, because it does feel like a bit of a back and forth. The card that I picked for you, it's the Star. And it is talking about happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans, that you are on the right path. So I do feel like this card is coming up for you because you very much are at that teeter-totter place of where you need that confirmation of being on the right path. And so I really think that that's probably what you're looking for most today. Would you say that would be right, Tati? I also hear that there's that you're kind of wearing yourself a bit thin right now, that you've been working really, really hard, and just to watch the energy that you're putting out there, because it does feel like the pace that you're going at, and that also could be the emotional pace that you're going at, like that you can't sustain that. So just make sure that you're also taking some time to take care of yourself, because all of your business efforts as well are going to be maximized if you're feeling really good. So Tati, I'd love to hear if that's making sense to you. I am going to go to Neil. Okay. So Neil, if you can just confirm that you're still on, I am going to go to Neil on Facebook. I'm jumping back and forth between Facebook and YouTube, and I'm going to who I'm drawn to. Okay. So Tati, did that make sense for you, what I said? Hi, Heather. Hi, Maddie. Thank you. And then I see CF. Okay. So after I go to Neil, I'm going to go to, I feel like I want to go to CF on YouTube, and then we'll jump around from there. I'm still looking for someone that's going to let me coach them live. So on YouTube, it would be over the phone. you would call me. I would put you on speaker. It'd be a short little coaching interaction. It could be the same if you're on Facebook as well. Or we could bring you on live if you just like really want to go for it. Tati, I did. I gave you a reading. Tati, you can catch it on the replay though. The replay will be posted. So I didn't answer a question for you specifically. I gave you what I was getting right now for you that I thought you needed to hear. So you can watch that part. Okay. So Neil, hi Neil. I'm connecting with you. So Neil Rama, okay. Neil, I'm curious. This is kind of random, but are you playing with like different ways to meditate other than just like being in traditional meditation where you like are sitting and your eyes are closed? Like, because for whatever reason, that's the first thing that came for you is like seeing you have these more mindful meditative experiences, but in other places in your life that wouldn't be considered like traditional meditation. So I'm just wondering if that would make sense or would line up, or if that's something that you're thinking about or wanting, because that's the first thing that came in for you. I do feel like there's certainly a calm confidence when I connect with you as well. So that's just in this moment what I'm getting from you energetically. And then for the card, it will make sense. Okay. I pulled the Six of Water. So it's talking about memories from history or childhood, issues that might be like regarding children, romanticizing the past. Okay. And then I pulled a second one as well, this Nine of Fire card, which is talking about don't give up, protect that which you've created, have courage, and believe in yourself. Okay. So this one I'm actually connecting in with like even more powerfully with you, because I got just a strong, this is the first one, sense when I pulled that second one. So I do feel like as of right now, there's a challenge or a struggle or a thing that is coming in that's having you doubt yourself, because I feel like whenever this card comes up, that you are very much in that place of needing a confirmation that everything's going to be okay, that you're doing things right, that you're headed in the right direction. So I just want to voice that and give you that confirmation. I think this other card is coming in because I see it as being some of the things that might be planting those seeds of doubt, those things that might be a little bit unsettling or making you feel a bit uneasy. And it feels like comparison, like comparison to you at a different point in your life, comparison to other people, even comparison to like what it was like for you last week. So I think that there's this sense of looking back and looking around instead of looking forward. And that when you get into that mode, that it just starts to trip you up and it starts to, it doesn't really get you in the best place in terms of like mindset and energy. And so I'm thinking that a lot of why you came tonight was, again, just to get that confirmation of like, am I headed in the right path? Like, I think that I am, but there's things that are feeling off right now. And so I just really want to reiterate that part as well. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that cleared some things up for you. Thank you, Neil. Okay, so I'm going to go to CF. CF. Okay, and then Facebook, I'll go to, let's see, Mohit. Are you still on Mohit on Facebook? Okay. So Mohit, I'll be looking to see if you're still on. You would be next, the next one I want to go to on Facebook, but I'm going to go with CF. I'm still looking for someone to do some coaching with. That's like, whoever wants to do coaching is going to get jumped to the top because we need to start working that in. That's your incentive. It's to do some coaching. You get jumped into the top of the list. Okay, CF. I'm going to tune into you. Okay. So CF, like the thing that I'm getting when I tune into you is that it just feels like you're, like, I know that you described yourself as like unmotivated and unfocused, but I just get this sense of like your energy being everywhere. And the first thing that I notice that it feels like, just as I tune into the sensations that are coming in my body, would be that I feel like really ungrounded. Like, I think that's like the very first thing that I'm wanting for you is to find a grounding practice for yourself. If you want just like a really simple thing and you don't have there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I do have I want to say it's called like my 2.5 minute like cleansing meditation or visualization that's there on YouTube. I have a lot of different things on YouTube. Some of them happen to be like meditations or affirmations. So that 2.5 minute one happens to be a grounding thing that I walk myself through that you can utilize. And if you search Google, you'll find like endless amounts of ways that you can get yourself grounded. But I feel like for you, that is step one. And it's something that I want you to starting your day with, because I do feel this sense of, I want to call it anxiety and uneasiness that happens when you aren't grounded. Okay, the other thing that's coming up, this Unity card is the card that I pulled from you. It's talking about traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seeking mentors, or like-minded friends. So for you in this card, I feel like you're in this like spiritual transition, CF, that you're in this place of finding your own connection to a higher power. And I feel like you've like kind of started that journey, but that it's hard for you to, I don't know, that you're still kind of like, there's some things that you're kind of dabbling in, but you haven't necessarily dived into, or that you're still trying to figure out or kind of negotiate against like what other people might think, or past belief systems, like in the way that you were raised versus like what you might believe now. But I do feel like there's this like spiritual transition that's going on. And I feel like with this card that there's this opening, this invitation for you to dive into that, because I think for you that it's going to be like an opening into a lot of personal development, into that feeling of that you're looking for, more grounded. I think you're also wanting some like purpose and meaning and some things like that in your life as well. This might be a good time for you, when you said like, I want to be disciplined, it's hard to parent myself, to find someone that you can work with. That might be a coach or someone else that you're drawn to, or maybe someone comes to mind that you've met recently at other events. But coaching ends up bringing in a lot of the accountability to follow through with the things that are important to you, that you know are going to work, but to actually do them and to give yourself that time. So keep that in mind. Okay, so Mohit. Okay. Cool. So Mohit, you want to do coaching? Yay. Mohit, do you want to be live with me, like on video, or do you want to call me on the phone? And then I'm going to call out who's going to be next on YouTube while you let me know that. Okay. So while I'm figuring out the next person on Facebook, hi, Jamari. Thanks for joining. Thanks, CF. I'm glad that helped. Okay, so I think I'm going to go to Maurice on YouTube after I do Mohit. Maurice. Okay. Mohit, I'll have to do the coaching or the reading for you then, just because the coaching would require us to have a conversation. So I wouldn't be able to actually coach you unless I was talking to you. So yes, we can do a reading though. But the coaching is going to be a little bit more in-depth, because the reading, I'm sort of just talking at you and giving you what I'm getting. But the benefit of the coaching is that we actually get to have a conversation and we get to dive a little deeper into what's specifically going on with you. And it creates, there's a different dynamic. My intuition's always involved in it, but I would need to be talking to you. So yes. Keep that in mind for you guys that join multiple weeks, that if you come back next week, that I'll be looking for other people to coach. And that as of right now, since it's a new thing that I haven't really asked people to do, I'll jump you to the top if you want to do the coaching. Yeah. Okay. So Mohit and then Maurice. And Maurice, just let me know you're still watching in the coming minutes, just so I know you're there. Okay, get dropped into you, Mohit. Okay. So Mohit, interesting thing that came in with you, like initially, sometimes it's just very random information. I don't know what part of the US you live in, or if you're based in the US, because I know sometimes people live in different countries, but my sense was that it felt like a hotter, like more kind of desert environment type place. And the thing that I was hearing was that the heat, like, of this season has just kind of been getting to you lately, that you're someone that's like really thriving and enjoying like being outdoors. And it was just something about the heat that had been getting to you in Kuwait. Okay. And so Kuwait, I'd imagine, is like very hot this time of year. Has it been challenging for you with the heat? But as I tuned into you, like, that's the first thing that I'm getting is like, yes, like it's just been so hard with the heat, like being outdoors. You're on an oil field. Okay. Yeah. So again, like, as I get things from your spirit team, whoever that might be for you. So it might be whether it's guides, angels, loved ones. That's like the first thing that they're talking about. The world card is coming up for you. It's Archangel Michael. It's talking about a job well done, joy, contentment, gratitude, and the path towards enlightenment. So my sense about you is that you actually already are a spiritual person that has dived into a lot of personal development, and that there's a professional transition that has been calling your name. It does feel like something that you've been thinking about for a while, that you've delayed, that you've kind of gone back and forth on in terms of timing, but it does seem like something that you've, like, I see you talking about it with a lot of people, and maybe starting the beginning stages of it, but not yet actually like fully diving into it. Would that make sense for you, Mohit? And because of this card being Archangel Michael, it would give me the sense that this other thing is connected into your purpose, like your gift that you're bringing to the world. And I feel like this card is coming up for you right now because there's this reminder that you need to remember of like what you're here to do, what you're meant to be doing. So I feel like this card right here is coming in for you as a push to keep doing it. Have you started, Mohit, like actually moving forward with that business yet? I'm just waiting to see if there's a response. If I think I had mentioned before, it feels like it's maybe like beginning stages of it, but not a lot. Okay. Well, you haven't. Okay. The thing that I want you to just leave you with on this is, I guess that my sense is that there's just questions that you feel are unanswered in terms of what you're going to do. I think, I do think that there's this time right now for you to be diving into your purpose, because that's going to inform the other pieces of it. It's sort of like when you're building a puzzle, you would usually like build the edges of the puzzle first and then start to put the other pieces in place. And I think that you have some of the pieces, but for you to start building that framework, I think that purpose needs to be clarified and fine-tuned just a bit. The other thing that I'm feeling for you, Mohit, is that you receive things in dream state. And I don't know if you're writing down your dreams or if you have tried like asking a certain question or setting a certain intention before you fall asleep. But I'm just getting that there's something for you that ends up happening when you like that you get information or downloads or whatever you might want to call it when you're in the dream state. Okay. So still in the planning phase, struggling with career currently. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want you to purpose. I'm going to bold that and highlight that and make sure that you definitely, that's your homework is to get clarified on that. So I'll leave you with all of that. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Come back next week if you want to do some coaching on that. Okay. Maurice, I'm going to you. And then if someone's on Facebook that wants to go next, let me know that you're still there. I see people hopping in and out. So if I haven't gone to you yet on Facebook, let me know. But I'm going to Maurice, and I see hi to the Floyd who joined on YouTube. All right, Maurice Evans Jones. Let me get tuned into you, and I see that you're asking specifically about money in the coming weeks. Okay. Okay. So when I get tuned into you, Maurice, the thing that I feel is there's like an anxious feeling that comes in. And then I also feel like there's been a lot of like overthinking, a lot of trying to figure things out from the logical mind. And so it feels like those two things right now, like I want to work with that energy a little bit so that we can make some shifts. I'll tell you based on the type of information that I get. Like I don't tend to get a lot of yes, no answers. Like, yes, like it's happening because all of this, there's like a lot of free will choice. And most of it has to do with how you take the situation right now and what you do to show up for it energetically, what actions you take. And so most of the information that I get ends up coming in to get you better aligned with what you're wanting. And so it feels like we're a bit off right now. So that would be our goal in this interaction, in this reading, is to get you more aligned. So the card that's coming in, really good card, for a really positive card as well for what you're asking. It's the Six of Fire card. It's saying victory, good news is on its way, public recognition, or awards is what the card is saying. So I mean, definitely a nice, affirming, positive card. I pulled another one, and it's a water card, the Five of Water, which is having to do with emotions. And this one totally lines up with what I was describing. It's talking about things not turning out the way you hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, crying over spilled milk. Okay. So I do feel like I see you going back and forth between two different states lately, Maurice, and I don't know that it's interesting. Maurice, did I give you a reading like on a similar topic? Like, because I just kind of had a kind of hint of deja vu, and I think because I realized that a lot of the things that were coming through, they started to feel similar to that, but then I'm not sure if I'm thinking of the right person, because if it is you, I feel like it was a couple months ago on job seeking. Okay. Because I do feel like there was a lot coming in for you that day in terms of mindset and how you could be better aligned. And so I'm feeling for you at this point in time that I don't know that you are really like accessing all of your inner resources for what I think you're wanting right now. And in terms of when you're saying money in the coming weeks, although there's this positive card that's very affirming that's coming in, I also feel like for that positive card to be true, that it's going to require some within you to make sure that you're not driving your actions like from like a really anxious place. So Maurice, like, do you have a morning routine? Like, I feel like I want you to have some kind of morning routine, something that really starts you off, like before you check your email, like before you like hop on Facebook or YouTube, that like you have something that really gets you going. Okay. That would be my challenge, and the thing that I'm feeling for you, Maurice, is to get yourself going on a morning routine, and to find some elements that maybe they include some meditation or visualization. There's so many things on YouTube that you can get, but I'm really wanting to make this for you about priming your mind and your thinking with the types of thoughts and the way that you want to be throughout your day, because that's going to set you up to not be as much in a reactionary state, and to really start I actually want to use the words like really co-creating with the things that the world is throwing at you. And I think that if you don't like first thing kind of check your email or kind of go into your typical mode, that you enter in this one change in your morning. I see it sort of being this trickle down effect that's going to start impacting your decisions, your choices, your emotions. So I'm going to leave you with that, because that feels pretty good. That feels like a good place to end. Okay. 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 So Mohit, maybe we could do the coaching next time. I could figure out like how to set you up next time for it. I'm going to go to Ava. It looks like Ava's the one that's there. I'm going to go to Ava on Facebook. And then who's still here on wanting a reading on YouTube that I haven't gotten to? Type me a comment just so I can know who's here still and wants a reading. Okay. And Ava, you're still here on Facebook? Ava. Okay. So I'm going to go to Ava on Facebook. And then for YouTube, let me know who's watching. It looks like there's 4 people that are watching, but I'm not sure who it might be or if it's other people that haven't commented. Let's see. Maddie, I wasn't sure if you wanted a reading or if you're still on, because I just saw you kind of popping in and saying hello. Or if Heather's still watching and wants a card, or who else would be here? If Jamari is still on. Floyd, I saw your emoji. I don't know if that means you want a reading or not. So just clarify who's here, and then I'll come back after we do Ava. Okay. Okay, Ava, let me get tuned into you. So Ava, my first thought is Ava, are you wanting to are you thinking a lot about like money, abundance? Is that something that's been on your mind? Because that's immediately what I get from you when I tune in, that's something that you're wanting or hoping to get information on from the reading. And answer back. I'm always checking the comments as well. I love to like feel like we're like almost in the same room, even though we're not. So it is okay. So the 6 of Air card is coming in. A lot of times the air cards have to do with your thinking or your intellect. So I think it would line up as well that this is something that's been on your mind a lot. This says things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation, or taking a trip. I feel like I feel like is that your journey has led you to this place where you're being asked to take a big leap or a big chance. And I think that what I see is that it feels uncomfortable, because most people on a journey like this, like, and even like a lot of like, I feel like there's people that have been kind of giving you advice, or the way that I would call advice is like projecting their opinion of what's best for them onto you. And so I do feel like you've sort of pushed past this barrier and gone beyond the place where others might have stopped or turned back, but that you've kept going. So I do feel like a lot of perseverance on your part to be really even at the place that you're at right now. And I just get the sense that you're, the visual that's coming in is sort of like on that diving board, and that you're there, and that the more that you delay, the more that you're sort of having those thoughts come in of like, can I really do this? Is this completely crazy? Like, who am I to even be jumping off like the high dive right now? I haven't trained for this. I'm not like a Olympic swimmer. Like, I feel like there's a lot of that going on. So it's a big jump into the new life with your business. Okay. Yeah. And so I feel like there might even be like another jump, because I know that you're coming in wanting to know about money. And I think that there may even be like that you took a leap, and that maybe there's like another leap that's coming right after, because I feel like this is specifically coming in relation to money. But I do feel that this is a very affirming card for you, just saying like that things are looking up. That's the end of a difficult situation. So I want to highlight that. The other card that's coming in is Two of Fire. It's saying that you've come into your own, new partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. The two chakras that I really want you to focus in on would be the solar plexus and the heart, because I do feel like those are the two for you that are the ones, like when those two are working together, that the solar plexus is very much about manifesting, but for you, it's important that you're manifesting like through your heart and through your purpose, because otherwise I think that's when I think your brain sometimes like gets in the way if those two chakras are not working together. And I don't feel like it's a business partner, but I feel like there's like a confidant or someone that you're talking to a lot about it. I mean, it could definitely be like a coach, a mentor, like a friend or confidant, but I just see that there's another person that's in your corner. And I don't know if they're already like functioning in the role of accountability, but I just want you to maybe make a request of this person to start challenging you to go bigger, because I do feel like there's times when you could be like really going way bigger than what you're doing. And yeah, I feel like that feels pretty complete. How does that feel for you, Ava? Okay. So I'll see what Ava has to say. I'll go to Jamari. And Ava, I'll be on the lookout from anything that you have to say or comment from there. Okay. And then Jamari, current financial situation. Okay. Jamari, I think I know that I've mentioned this to you, that I'll give you what I'm getting, but a lot of times my readings are not going to be like, yes, like this is going to happen, or no, it won't. That we're just going to really be looking at the energy and anything that you can do to be more aligned with your goal of getting a job at the end of the month. Thanks, Ava. I'm glad you have that support. Thanks for joining. Okay. Jamari. So Jamari, before I go to the card, the sense that comes with you on this topic is that you're doing a lot of the same things like over and over again, and that there's this opportunity for you to actually be entering in and trying some different things, because I feel like you're wanting to see different results, but that you're not changing anything that you're doing. The card that's coming in is this Knight of Water card. And it is actually talking about a bit about relationships. They need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. I want to pull a second one. Ten of Air, talking about the end of a difficult situation, embracing a change, expecting things to get better. Okay. Jamari, I just feel like there's this kind of like split separation in your energy. And I think that there's certain things that you logically understand that you're not putting into action or putting into motion with this job search. And I think that I've probably said certain things because I think that you've come kind of asking similar things in the past. And so I just want to say that for you, like the big thing that I'm getting is that it's time to get into action and make changes to what you're doing. That if you want to see different results or a different outcome, that it has to move from the phase of I'm thinking about this, or this might be an interesting idea, to actually integrating it into what you're doing. And I feel like most people, that you're following through with the actions, you're following through with the behaviors, that you're doing that part well, but it's more on the side of the energetic alignment, your thinking, your mindset, that I think is the part that's really going to bring the magic. And so I think for you to be more aligned, because my thoughts is that right now you're sort of moving towards your goal kind of like this. Like this is how the energy of it feels, and that it feels like it's taking longer because, right, that you're like going sideways at times. And so if we're wanting to go the most direct path, then we're going to be blending in the things that you're doing and the actions you're taking with who you're being, how you're thinking, right, how you're moving throughout your day. And so I want you to think about that as well, whether you want to think about it in terms of mindset or manifesting. I just feel like that piece is missing, where you really need to up your game with it in order to get that alignment going. Okay. So we have, is it Kemi? Kemi, I was like zooming in because I don't have my glasses on. Kemi, yeah, I'm an intuitive business coach. And so I do different things. The readings that I do are sort of like a separate thing, but the coaching is my main thing. And I coach all business owners, a lot of new business owners, people that are starting their business, mostly online, and freelancers. Hi, Alicia and Eleni. Eleni, I don't do the love questions. One of the things that I've noticed, and I confirmed this with one of my teachers, is that different people have certain specialties, although there might be people that are just like a generalist, that spirit works through different people based on their background. And so I, before this, was a recruiter, like working with businesses on their hiring strategies and their growth strategy for people, and then moved into the coaching realm. And so all of the things that I tend to get are related to purpose, career, business, money. And so I've just noticed, and I asked my teacher this specifically because I was curious, that spirit works through people that have the language to kind of communicate what they're trying to convey. And she told me this story about a former mailman turned psychic that would like get specific addresses. So that was what I was wanting to share. So, but let's see what else we have. And let me check in who's over here on Facebook. Who's here? So I see, is it Mahina? Wondering how to find the magic and confidence back in my life when it's been very painful and sad to try. So I'm wondering, Mahina, I feel like that would be a good thing coaching wise. I've been looking for somebody tonight on these lives to do coaching with, but it would require you to either come into the live with me so that if you're on Facebook, people would be able to see you, or if you're US based as well, you would call me, but people would be able to hear you. But I am looking for someone that's willing to do a short coaching session for perfect example with what you're asking, where I think we actually could get a lot further if we're interacting and having a conversation and coaching than we would with a reading. Kemi. I don't, I keep zooming. It almost looks like Carrie, and then I have to zoom in, and then I see that it's Kemi with an M. So you said you don't have a business yet, but you want to start a business called 512 Artistry. You're looking to write a poetry book. Will it be successful? Okay. So Kemi, I'm going to pull a card for you. And I'll tell you that a lot of the things, Kemi, that tend to come in are things for you to align yourself to make it successful, and things that you should be focused on right now with the path that you're on, the place that you're in. But I see it really as that there's a lot of free will choice in it, and a lot of it is going to be determined by how you're showing up. So we'll see what comes in with the cards, Kemi, if that sounds good for you. And then Mahina, let me know if you're open to doing that. If you're open to doing it through a coaching session. Tonight, since I really love to do a coaching on one of these lives, a brief coaching. Okay, let me get tuned into Kemi first. Okay. Kemi, would you say that you have like two main like passions? Because I just feel a really strong energy with you, but it felt like it was right now that it was going in different directions. And so I hear you talking about like art, poetry, and that might be one that might be different for you, but I just feel like there's right now that there's like very different passions that to you feel like they go in different directions, or that there's different directions that it would take you in. And so I just want to acknowledge first that. The other thing that I am bringing in with the card is Archangel Michael. It's talking about a time of positive change, a situation suddenly moving forward, and fortune is on your side. So I feel like one of the things that you're looking for that needs to be let go of is, I do feel like there's this looking for the right time as well as looking for certainty, and that you're not going to find either of those things. And so I think as of right now, that your only job is to start to make steps forward and to start doing things, writing down what those steps would be and actually taking steps forward. The other thing that's coming in is Archangel Michael. So you said passion 1 is singing, entertainment, poetry. Passion 2 is helping people's social work. Okay. This is completely it's making complete sense now as soon as you said that, why Archangel Michael card is showing up. So Archangel Michael is the one that's overseeing purpose. And so for you, with you saying helping people, I'm connecting that in with purpose. I do want you to know, though, Kemi, that one of the things that I see since I work with and coach so many people around purpose and clarifying their purpose is that yours feels too broad right now, that there's more layers, like that there's this this need to go deeper into the layers so that you can actually get more clear on specifically who the people are, what impact that you want to make on them, how you need to show up, and how you're going to be in the world. I mean, making that big of an impact. And so I do feel like there's that coming in. And I also feel like it's going to be clarity that brings and makes it very clear of how you're actually serving and creating an impact in the world through number one of the singing, entertainment, poetry. Because I feel like for you, it feels like two very different things. And I feel like they're like, no. Like your purpose is actually like, there's a bridge kind of between the two. And while I don't know that you've seen it or thought about it in this way before, that there's a way that there's this bridge between the two that bring them together, that honor both, and that allow you to be in full expression of who you are. And I think that once you figure out what that bridge is, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to start identifying those different actions to start to move forward. But I would say step one for you in terms of actions and moving forward is to get clear on your purpose. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that helps and you enjoyed it. Thanks, Kemi. Okay. So thanks, Kemi. Okay. So I'm going to end tonight. I'm going to end tonight with Kim. I've been on for an hour, and so I'm going a few minutes over. I'm just going to do a very quick card pull for you, Kim. And I will be back next week at 7 Pacific. And who I'm looking for, if you guys want to reach out to me, is I typically do not like pre-plan who is going to be on or let people kind of like reserve ahead of time. But I really want to find someone that's willing to do coaching because most people are wanting readings. And while I enjoy doing the readings, the coaching is really like what I bring to the table. And it's important that I start bringing the coaching element in, like the actual thing that I do, which of course includes intuition. That's always a part of it. But someone that's willing to have a conversation with me and be either like on speakerphone, or if you're on Facebook, to be on live where people can see your face. And so if someone is willing to do that ahead of time, send me a message. Let me know. I know that it's easier for people on Facebook. I'm going to put my email here for the YouTube people though. But I can arrange it in advance with you guys because I will give that person priority. Because my sense is that it's more vulnerable to be heard, to be coached by somebody and be heard by everyone else. But you're going to get a lot more out of it. You're going to get a lot more out of the experience. So, yes. Okay. Kim, let's pull a quick card for you. Kim, the card that I got for you is the Magician. It's saying you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. Solar plexus is what I want to call out for you as well right now, Kim. And they're talking about nature, that there's something for you, because I feel like there's something that needed this confirmation, this affirmation today, that like, yes, you are correct. Yes, keep going. Yes, yes, yes. And so there's something about a place that you go in nature, or I'm kind of feeling the vibe of like an early morning walk, but there's something that you get from that or an idea that's coming in soon. And so I just want to call that out for you. Okay. Everybody have a good night. I will see you next week. Bye, everybody. Bye, Facebook.